Greetings. Let's zoom in on the AI bot everyone is gonna be watching soon and why I think this matters. Hey, welcome to Dad's DeFi space, where we test DeFi strategies out in the open. Today, we're going to be diving into the live performance of Krystal Auto Vaults on base. Now, this is a transparent breakdown of what worked and what didn't and how AI actually helped me and how it behaved with some real capital. But before we go any farther, remember none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are DeFi and Web3 experiments. Please do your own research. And remember to like and subscribe the video. We're a small channel and we want to get our content out there for anyone who's Web3 curious. So, this is what we told. This is how Here is what we told AI to do and how we designed it to think in just a moment. Now, before we go any farther, we are using Krystal Finance as our automated liquidity manager. I've been using Krystal Finance since I first started experimenting with DeFi back in 2020. We have made many videos previously on Krystal app, so I really just want to focus on the auto vaults today. But if you're interested in everything Krystal Finance, check out some of our old content on our YouTube channel or over on X at CryptoZone 1013. Now, what does an auto farm bot use? Well, we're talking AI agents. So instead of you managing the pools, the agent will be managing the pools. And the great part about this is you get total freedom in how it's managed. So remember, these are private by design, and there is absolutely no restriction on your principal token. Now, getting to the goal of this vault, we want to combine high yielding with long-term asset exposure. Now, here in a minute, we're going to take a look at my core strategy, but I want you to understand a little bit about what these agents can do. First off, these AI agents understand liquidity pools, APR rewards, risk, and how to manage them. It monitors market conditions and pool performance. It does all of this in real time, and it even executes actions like providing liquidity, adding and removing liquidity, and rebalancing positions. All the user has to do is give that AI agent specific instructions, and it will begin executing with as well, however it can. Now, let's take a look at our strategy. Now, with my current AI agent strategy on Krystal, I'm wanting to combine high yielding with long term asset exposure. And we're going to do this by putting 70% of our assets into blue chip pools. Things like ETH, Wrap Bitcoin, Coinbase Bitcoin, LSTs, maybe even stables, whatever. But these are assets we would hold for most of our existence. The other 30% of capital is going into high APR pools. These high APR pools can be narrower in range, much riskier, and susceptible to impermanent loss, of course. Hence why only 30%. These LP will be used to provide more stable, create more cash flow or stable exposure to add to our high conviction plays. The AI agent would go through the steps of allocating following my exit triggers, which are minus 15% P&L or a greater than 10%, less than 10% APR. It's supposed to exit the positions. Again, this is beta and we are testing it. It sometimes either misses execution or what really happens is it tries to execute, but the transaction fails. It does not usually go back to try the transaction again. It moves on to the next step. So there are some, seems to be known issues with it, but right now I'm experimenting with very detailed instructions. And our next experiment will detail simpler instructions. Now, once capital builds up within the higher risk positions in our pool, it's meant to reallocate capital, keeping the allocation around 70/30. Now, it will start to compound fees once fees are greater than $5, and it will harvest fees if the fees are greater than $25 to USDC or another stablecoin. It will always adjust our LP ranges when they go out of bounds, and it will scale in if APR improves by greater than 10%. That means we'll reinvest that, or excuse me, it will also reinvest our USDC into blue chip positions on dips. And after exits, it will consolidate all of our tokens to USDC. Now let's look at the most recent performance, right? In numbers. Right now, you are looking at our entire account, which would include the Auto Farm Vault, but also our old USDC yielding vault. Oh, today we're looking at the Auto Farm Vault, although we could look at the Krystal Vault at the end of the video. Now, the performance of this one is down about 3.7%. Negative $8.91. We've only put in around 240 to start with, and right now we're sitting at $232. Now, the 7-day APR has been 362%, although it is down today. And we have operated three different active strategies. One low performing pool of wrapped ETH USDC. There was a second one that was performing much better. I assume the bot was waiting for a good exit. And then also a debt relief bot wrapped ETH pool. The debt relief bot is the meme coin that was created by Grok, the X chat, which I find quite interesting and I think could be a big narrative AI agents and tokens that they're trading. And this pool was rotated in aggressively. We earned around 2,800%. Now, earlier today, before we made the video, the agent decided to exit the debt relief bot position for some reason. We'll have to take a look at the action logs and the terminal. Oh, what's so cool about this, right? It tells each step the bot takes right here. I'm not going to read through all these steps it's taken over the last few days, but it has been quite active. You can also have a chat function here where you can open up and have it make adjustments, answer questions, or do certain strategies. Now, we changed our agent configuration today, and right now we are only in one pool. Now, this pool is so early, I'm not getting a good yield read on it yet, so we'll have to come back to it, and it's only $163. If I go, and it is a wrapped ETH position from 26.59 to 32.42. We'll have to wait and see how the yield plays on this one over the next little bit. Now, this is the most recent performance of my AI agent controlled vault. The loss actually came from ETH price volatility and LP exits by the agent, the one low performing wrapped ETH USDC pool, and then we did get some of our profits back from fees earned on the debt relief bot that was earning around 2,800%. So what was working were fast exits from underperformance and the fees consistently compounding. The AI agent allowed for no emotional driven reentries. So, look, it's not a failure, but we have to work out the kinks. This is a live data point experiment. Excuse me, these are live data points within the experiment. And this was not a planned stress test, but I'm not managing it as active as I do some other positions because I want to see how the AI agent will perform. Now, if you take a look at our action log and our dashboard, the most recent moves has been a withdrawal of the debt relief bot and the underperforming wrapped ETH USDC LP. It converted all those positions to USDC, and it has some random tokens it's been farming. That would be Clanker, and I think that's about it. Now, if you take a look at our allocation, you can see the majority of the position is wrapped ETH or USDC, and the other half is USDC waiting to execute into another position. Right now, yields are low, volume is down. It may not do that much over the weekend. Now, the other thing I wanted to show today is the agent configuration. It is in this where you type in your goal or your objectives, what you want to achieve, maybe your LP farming style. Next, you get to whitelist pools that it will watch. Now, I wanted to have a very wide pool list, so I found all the high TVL pools of blue chip positions like Bitcoin, Coinbase, Bitcoin, Ethereum, wrapped Ethereum, etc., that I am happy in farming, and also some universal positions on Sol and Sway, and even ADA. Although ADA, oof, anyway. Likewise, I selected from a set of pools that I have noticed have had a lot of volume. When volumes pick up, these are the riskier positions, and we got Debt Relief Bot, Virtuals, Zora, Zen, Clanker, Toshi, Brett, Well, the Nick Shirley coin, Morpho, Syrup, and we will keep an eye if we want to add any others. Now, it will allow the pools that go out of range a 1 hour cooldown before it starts to rebalance. I may up this to help mitigate impermanent loss. We're going to move that to 2 hours and see how that runs for the next few days. I'm resaving the configuration and wanted to talk a little bit about my skepticisms of using an AI agent. First and foremost, automation does not mean autopilot. The risks that we're tracking, the high APR pools, they're still extremely volatile, and the AI agent cannot mitigate all the impermanent loss. Well, range management during this update is everything. One bad chop will drain the capital. And look, the AI, it doesn't per se learn, it follows your commands and executes what you want it to do. So that is the trade off. You get speed, you get rule based clarity, but you still need good strategy inputs, or this automation is just going to fail faster. So, why haven't we shut this down? Look, despite the small red P&L, the vault still to me shows real promise, and it's early. It's executing without bias, it's compounding consistently, it's recovering positions with minimal intervention. If you go back to our first video, this vault started off with some terrible positions. We kind of did that on purpose to see how it would work. So, in long term, I believe this will be an excellent product that DeFi investors can use. The APR may fluctuate, but this process could be repeatable, and that's what truly matters. So, in long term, I believe in auto bots, and I could see it be part of DeFi's future if it's transparent. It creates time saving for real strategies, of course, and there's a new layer of programmable capital on chain. So, if you are interested in DeFi strategies like this, check out our website at dadsdefispace.org, the free DeFi course. And of course, check out our link for Krystal and become a part of our crew and help support the channel. Create your own AI agent vault or join ours or join our other vaults that are created on Krystal Finance. Not financial advice, of course. This is all experimental, but I find so much joy in experimenting in the Web3 space. So, look, this is the end of a cycle, and it's just very soon going to be the beginning of a new, in my opinion. And what we're going to be working on next are finding new whitelisted pools, refining the prompt for the AI, publishing more performance charts of this vault, and launching a second vault with much tighter risk controls. Maybe something that just farms ETH or USDC, maybe even a stablecoin vault, and see if it can earn a higher yield and some other AI agent plays that we're looking into. So, look, if the first experiment was about survival, right? The second one is going to be more about stability. So, subscribe if you want to follow the DeFi strategies and prompt evolution and all the live data that we present. Let's bring it home because look, it's not about chasing yield. It's about understanding how the yield works, where it's coming from, and using tools such as AI, not as a shortcut, but to improve the performance of our portfolios. So every update is a snapshot of this learning curve, and I hope that you join it with us. If you want more, check out some more of our content. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.